Hi, I'm your instructor, Andy Steck. I want to wish you a happy new year, and I also want to wish you a happy new, brand new term. This is winter term 21, 2021, and this is children's literature, one of my favorite subjects to teach. And I'm going to explain the overall course to you so you have a better understanding of how to use Blackboard in this video, and we're going to check in on the syllabus just a little bit. So I'm going to start off by with the home page, which is what you're on, and this is Blackboard Ultra. I don't know if you've used it before. It's a little bit different than classic Blackboard, but it is what all of the instructors will eventually be using as the management system for our online learning. Or even if you're in a hybrid class, hopefully in the fall, that they will be using Blackboard to manage your grades on and the content for your course as well. So you see here the main menu, which starts off with the syllabus and the weekly schedule. You have some weekly learning modules. You have major assignments, and you have literacy circles and book lists, which are very important, and I'll be talking to you about that in the next video. Here are information about lesson plans and objectives, and you will need to use those and learn more about those and how to write an objective. I have some anti-racism resources for you as well. And then there is some information about the Wilson Library, the Educational Studies Handbook, and a little bit more information about me, your instructor. So I'm going to click on the syllabus and weekly schedule. And when I do, you'll see the syllabus here and the weekly schedule, and we'll need to download them if you want to take a look at the syllabus, and I would encourage you to do that. And we're going to run through the syllabus very quickly right now. You could peruse it at your own leisure, and if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Here you see the syllabus for this term. You see the course description, which is to introduce you to children's literature in a variety of genres, and you're going to experience and appreciate the breadth of genres, the variety of authors and illustrators, and you're going to find creative ways to use literature in a classroom, the children's literature especially. We also will look at some young adult literature. Learning outcomes. Each of our activities is related to a learning outcome, or the outcome of that activity is one of the learning outcomes. So you're going to be selecting, evaluating quality literature. You're going to be exploring issues related to children's literature. You're going to write critically, analyzing children's literature. And you're going to use a variety of approaches for reading and discussing quality children's literature in the classroom, especially in a literature circle, which you will be a part of. You will then also access and utilize professional resources. You're going to critically examine the contribution of outstanding authors, and then you're going to analyze how visual elements such as typography, layout, paper choice, illustrations, ebooks, etc., contribute to the comprehension of the text. The book we're using is called Literature in the Child. This is a brand new edition. If you want to use the 8th edition, which is the previous edition, you can get your hands on that edition. Be my guest. I will try to use the pages from the 8th edition and the 9th edition, depending on what edition you're using, but I don't want you to spend a lot of money on the text. Rent it, find it inexpensively, borrow it, whatever the way you want to do it. We will be using it. You will be referring to it throughout the course. It has a lot of good information in it. My previous students have found it to be of so much help to them. So either the 8th or 9th edition, you might have some page numbers that are a little mixed up, but we'll figure that all out as we go along. Again, here is the assignments at a glance and how many points they're worth. And then there's also the conversion from percentage, which we will do at the end of the semester, to a letter grade. Now on Ultra Blackboard, sometimes the point system does not work out. So don't panic. If you need to know what your grade is, you can always ask me along the way. One of my policies is that if you don't think that you like the grade that you did receive for an assignment, you can take my suggestions, my feedback, and redo the assignment and resubmit it for a better grade. You're more than welcome to do that. You just can't do that all at the very end. You have to do that along the way. So I would not wait until the end. There's one assignment called our Reader's Response blog. So some people wait to the very end to finish. Do not do that. I would highly suggest that you submit that along the way, and I'll talk more about that during the term. We have an accessibility statement. So if you need accommodations, please don't hesitate to use that. And there's a social justice form. If you feel that you have had an incident of social injustice, please, you can use the form by clicking on that. Here's my attendance policy. Basically, when you're working online every week and submitting your work, that's attendance. If you don't submit your work, then you can't be credited for your attendance. You can make up the work. If the week turns off and you want to finish some work from the previous week, you just need to let me know, and I will turn the week back on for you. Please don't get too far behind, because I can't turn on weeks that were previous many weeks before. You do have to keep requesting that. Here are some resource links if you need the Academic Success Center or Wilson Library or academic advising or the registrar. Some information about academic honesty and plagiarism is here. We have our mission at the LaFetra College of Education, which champions for social equity for youth, adults, family, and communities. And we do that by equipping and empowering scholarly, high-skilled practitioners, education advocates, and leaders. Here are goals for our LaFetra College that I'll let you read at your own leisure. And these are our dispositions. And one of the dispositions, many of them are, all of them are very, very important, and all of them are integrated throughout the course. But the one that I focus on immensely that you'll see is social emotional learning. I think as a teacher, you need to teach social emotional learning as readily as you teach the academic learning. It is just as important, and sometimes the academic, most of the time, the research has shown that when you have focused on social emotional learning and worked with kids in developing their social emotional aspects of their life, that their academic is much easier for them, and they do a better job and are more successful in academics. And you'll see that along the way, because I'll be doing some work in social emotional learning with you, as well as the children's literature. And children's literature is the gateway to teach social emotional learning, and I will show you that as well. There are assignments, and these are just the assignment description. If you want to know more about the assignment, go to Blackboard under Major Assignments folder and click on the assignment. So when you have an assignment, check there. You can look on the syllabus, but this is only going to give you just a little spotlight of the assignment. More information and exemplars will be in the folder. So I would encourage you to do that. You'll have a virtual discussion, which is really your literacy circle, every single week. I think there's maybe 2 weeks we don't, the first week and maybe the 10th week, but every other week you will be meeting with your literacy circle at a time that your group can meet to discuss a already pre-selected book for you. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. And I know this information here tells you how to get a WebEx account. You don't even need to follow this information anymore. I need to take this off the syllabus. I thought I had. But right now, if you look at your quick links in Blackboard, you will see WebEx, and you can click on. You can also use Zoom. At the time I wrote this, I didn't have a Zoom account. Now there is a Zoom account too. You can click on Zoom or WebEx, whatever your group decides, and that's what you're going to use. There won't be any full classes, but I will be meeting with you most of the time when your literacy group meets. So you'll have me there as well. Sometimes I won't be able to, depending if I have a meeting or I have a conflict, but I will try to attend most of your literacy circle discussion groups. After each of those books, you're going to be 8 times, and after each of those books, you're going to write a reader's response, and you're going to create a blog, and you'll blog about the books in this 4-part posting, and you see that information right here. Again, go to the folder in Major Assignments that says Reader's Response Blog, and you'll get more information and also some exemplars of what my students have done previously. And you're going to create 4 parts to that for each of the 8 books that you are required to read for this assignment. It says it's due week 9. I would submit these as you write them along the way, because if there's something you need to fix, you can fix it and get more points. I would encourage you to do that. You're going to create a book trailer. If you don't know anything about a book trailer, it's kind of like a movie trailer. It's kind of fun. It's probably one of the most challenging assignments in this course, but after you create it and it looks so professional, you're going to pat yourself on the back and say, wow, I can't believe I did that. That's due week 3. You're going to create a family literacy backpack. Sometimes students need a break from homework, and this is actually what you might set up, and you can use your parent volunteers when we're back in classrooms if you're not in a classroom currently physically, and your parents can come in and volunteer and help set up the backpacks, and then they go home and they're based on themes. It might be family vacation. It might be a bedtime ritual. It might be pets. And the kids will read 3 books with their families. They'll participate in 3 activities, 1 for each book. And it's just a lot of fun. And then they'll return the work that they've done for you. Usually they're all hands-on activities, not worksheets, because we inundate kids with worksheets in school. And we want to do something a little bit more hands-on. And this, you're going to create an idea. You won't actually give the backpack away. Before the pandemic we did, but since we're still in the midst of it, we need to think of all of our safety protocols. We're going to just create it and add, in fact, you'll add, create this using this criteria right here. Again, take the time before you complete the assignment to actually walk through the criteria you need to set up the assignment. Besides the 8 books you're reading a lot of books, but mostly they're picture books or chapter books for elementary, so you can read them pretty quickly. We have 1 book that you'll be reading for sure as a young adult book, although you may select, excuse me, some young adult books in this. This is your self-selected virtual library. You're going to use Google Books as your vehicle or your venue to display 24 self-selected books that you've read. 19 of those are picture books, so you can read those in a matter of very quickly. 5 of them are chapter books, which might take a little bit longer, but again, if you don't select young adult and you select higher elementary, middle school books, you might even select graphic novels, which you can read very quickly as well. And you're going to actually create a minimum of 24 books, and you're going to sort them by genre in Google Books. If you haven't used Google Books, explore Google Books. It's pretty exciting. It's kind of fun. You can have your kids create their own libraries as well that way, and they can add books along the way that they have read. They can write reviews for books if you want them. You do not need to write a review, but you do will create a screencast for me talking about your books. You're going to be talking about what did you get out of the project, which books were your favorites, which were your least favorites. You're going to explain why, which books might you use with your future students, and you're going to post the link to your virtual library and the screencast in the Dropbox. That's due week 7. Before the pandemic, we also volunteered at a library. It could be a school library, a public library, but because of the pandemic now, I know you can't do that, but you're going to actually create this assignment virtually. You're going to take a look at some articles about libraries, you're going to take a look at some videos, and you're going to still interview a librarian. If you don't know a librarian, can't figure it out, talk to me. I have 5 librarians I know right offhand that will be very happy to give you an interview, and I will send you their way. One is the university librarian, Shelley, and she has a wonderful long last name, a beautiful woman who I adore because she just loves the LaFetro College of Education, and she will be glad to help you out. My niece is a school librarian in Texas, and she is just dynamic. She's very creative and very passionate about her library. I also have a good friend here in Buffalo, New York, that has done an amazing job with his library, so I can turn you to one of those. If you can't find a librarian, but you can reach out to your public library if there's contact there and ask for a librarian, or if you have a retired librarian you know, or any librarian you know you'll use as in the interview. This is due week 8. Again, I can't emphasize enough, go to Blackboard, click on Major Assignments folder, and then click on the major assignment. These are major assignments I'm talking about. These are done along with some weekly activities that you'll be completing as well. Your final exam is an e-portfolio. You can use any platform for that. I would encourage you to use Digication because the library of the university does um, support that. You can use Google Sites. You can use WordPress. There are so many out there. If you don't have one, if you already have started one in another class, you just need to add a page. This will be your children's literature page. And on that, you will put all of your major assignments, some brief reflections of each assignment, and a list of resources that you either found throughout this term or that you already had that would showcase you as a teacher who uses children's literature in the classroom. And that can be all whatever you think would be best. And then you'll, in your screencast, will explain that a little bit to me. And that is the final exam. I call that our signature assignment because that just showcases all of the work you did that you can keep forever and ever. And maybe in 20, 40 years, you look back on and say, oh, what did I do as an undergraduate? And here's some of your work that you did, which I would love to see it myself as my own. If you need some more information about me, I am here. And I am willing to chat with you anytime you need somebody to chat with, even if it's not about the course. You're more than welcome to Zoom with me, WebEx with me, or just text me, or you can send me emails. But that is the syllabus. Now, I do want to return back to the course here, and I do want to just explain a couple other things. The weekly schedule is here. If you click on here, and download that, and I would print it off. In fact, if you like printed materials yourself, you don't have to. You can keep it on your desktop, wherever you might like it. I'm just going to give it a second. I just want to show you this. And here it does explain to you what the topic will be for the week. What is the virtual discussion? The first one will be a milestone book, and you'll need to listen to week 1 to hear about what I mean by a milestone book and what that entails. And then these are the major assignments and when they are due. So I would refer to this list. It's the 10 weeks that we're working together. It will go very quickly, believe me, and there's probably a major assignment that has to be completed each week, plus your weekly activities. Let's go back again to Blackboard. All right, and these are the weekly learning modules. I know mine says visible to students, not visible. You're looking at the instructor. When you click on that, you won't see all of that. You will just see what's visible to you. And week 1 is here. It's visible to you. And I'll talk more about that in the week 1 video. This is the folder for major assignments that I had. So when I click on that, you will see, here's the reader's response blog for those 8 required books you'll be reading. Here's information about the book trailer, the family literacy backpacks, the self-selected virtual library, the virtual library experience. I didn't tell you about an author study. We'll be talking about that. You'll be working with a group of people, most likely not your literacy circle, but it may be. And then you have the final exam. Now, one of the things I want to talk about, and I will talk about the first week also, is your literacy circle. And if you click on this here, you'll see which group you're in. There is a literacy circle A, B, C, and D. That's important to know. You need to know who are those people in your group, and one of you will need to start the circle off by either having some communication about what book you're going to be reading next and who will be leading that, who will be recording the session, because you need to record the session as well, and you need to post it to get credit for your virtual discussions. The book list, the book you'll be reading, is right here. I'm going to click on this just to show you this. Give it a second. Okay, so here are the books. So if you're in Group A, you're going to be reading Group A books here all the way down. These are based on genres or categories. So the first one we're going to be talking about the Caldecott books. And Caldecott is named after a gentleman from history that you're going to learn more about. And they're the Caldecott winners now, and people rave about them. They are wonderful books, and these are all wonderful books. And so if you're in Group A, you're going to read Radiant Child. If you're in Group B, you're going to be reading the book called The Little House. If you're in Group C, you're going to be reading Owl Moon. And if you're in Group D, this is Not My Hat. And this is how we're going to do it week after week. So your group, you already know, you can read ahead if you would like. and you're going to find these books along the way. You say, where will I find the books? Well, you can order them if you want to have them for your own library. You can. They're not expensive, although they are a little bit of money. You can rent them online. You can. My previous students have found them on various websites along the way. But you are required to read these. So yes, you say, wow, this is a lot of reading. I have the textbook and I have these 8 books, plus I have 24 other books. You are right. That's how you get into children's literature. It is a lot of reading, but it is wonderful. And once you have finished this course, you're going to be amazed at what you know about children's literature. You probably don't realize what there is to know about children's literature. You can see I have a passion for children's literature. I'm sitting in my dining room, but if I was in my office, you would see books behind me, and you will in the video see my books behind me. I'm enjoying the holidays still. As I'm recording this, it's still, to me, Christmas. I haven't taken Christmas down yet, so I spend my time in my dining area, in my living room, enjoying the Christmas holidays because I don't decorate my office upstairs in my home. I do in my office at the university, but we are not at the, we're not allowed to be in our offices at the university. So otherwise you would see my office there as well. But anyways, I have well over 3,000 books. I just received some gift certificates to buy more books from Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So if you have friends who are thinking, what kind of gifts can I give you? What do you need if your birthday's coming up or a special occasion? Always ask, put it on your wish list. Oh, a gift certificate to Amazon would be wonderful, or a gift certificate to the independent bookstore in your hometown, or anywhere you could pick up children's books. I started collecting children's books when I was in college, when I was working at retail during the summertime in a mall. I would walk down to the local bookstore. At the time there was a local bookstore, and they'd have sidewalk sales, and the books were 50 cents, $1. I buy them at garage sales. I go out Saturday mornings, I get up early and go head out to garage sales and find children's books that look brand new for 5 cents, 25 cents, $1. I mean, it's so wonderful. You can find them anywhere. So don't think you have to buy brand new expensive books. You do not need to do that. But you could start equipping your classroom library with books. You'll say, well, I don't know what grade I'll be teaching. Well, you'll have a variety of reading levels in your classroom. So have a variety of books. I taught 6th grade as my first class. I never thought I'd be teaching 6th grade. I was not a preschool, but I was a primary type teacher. I wanted 2nd or 3rd grade. I'd take 1st grade or kindergarten. I didn't want 6th grade. My first job was 6th grade. I had lots of picture books. I had some chapter books, and my students, my 6th graders, loved reading the picture books. And I have a whole set of research on using picture books all the way through from K to 12. So if you're not interested in elementary and you're taking this as a minor, or you're not thinking you're going to be a math teacher, but you're picked up educational studies as your major, I can show you with the books that you can use at even the secondary level. Anyways, so this is the book list that you'll need to know more about. I don't want to get off on a tangent here because I want to keep you moving and be able to get your work done. I'm going to close that up. The lesson plans and objectives will show you the lesson plan template that you need to use when you write a lesson plan, and it will show you the objective and how. In this course, we don't write lesson plans as readily, but we will write objectives, and you'll write an objective every single time you post your reader's response blog. And you'll have a lesson sketch. It will not be a lesson plan. You don't have to write a whole lesson plan in this course, but you will have to write an objective that's in ABCD format. You'll say, what's ABCD format? Well, if you've had me before, you will definitely know. If you don't, you will learn that. But anyways, that information, and I think week 2, we spent time on writing objectives and looking at lesson plans. So you do need to make sure that you can access this folder and know the information that's in there. If you're interested, and I'm hoping you are, in developing some strategies for anti-racism, you will find a lot of resources in this folder. And again, I mentioned this earlier, if you need some information about Wilson Library, Shelley, our librarian, has a video here. There is the Educational Studies Handbook in case you need to know anything about our major, and then more information about me if you need that. Please don't hesitate if you have any questions to ask me, because I'd be really willing to help you out. That is the course. Up here in the corner is this grade book. When you click on that, you will see your grades and what assignments will be coming up. You can send messages to me through the message portion of Ultra Blackboard here. You can send them in black, and you can send them in just the email as well. I send out messages, and I will also send out announcements. And I think you did receive an announcement because I've been working on this, and it wasn't supposed to go out, and for some reason it went out. My apologies for that. But I'll give you an announcement that says that the week is open and you can start working on it. That's the other thing I need to explain. I know I'm talking fast because I want to make this a shorter video, which I don't think it's going to be. But I want to also explain to you, you have 9 days to complete 1 week's worth of work. So what I will do is I'll click it on Friday, so you'll get it Saturday morning, like at midnight. If you want to stay up Friday night and start working on it, you're more than welcome to. But you'll have Saturday, Sunday, you'll have the whole week, Monday through Friday, and then you'll have Saturday and Sunday if you need it to complete the week. Now you'll see an overlapping of weeks because after week 1 starts, week 2 will start on the Friday of week 1. Actually, you don't have to start week 2 then. And if you're done with week 1, you can, but you'll see week 2 and it will come on. So if you haven't completed week 1, that will be a sign of let's get it done. I would not wait till Sunday to do all your work, the last Sunday. I would do it along the way. You also have to remember that you have a literacy circle that you will have to meet with your literacy circle group at a pre-designated time that all of your members can meet. Now, some of your groups will have 6 people, some will have 7. So that is sometimes tricky, but you don't have to meet for a long time. I'm saying 15, 20 minutes. Now, sometimes my previous students have met longer because they formed an attachment with their members of the group, and it's a time to chat with people and talk about the course. It's time, sometimes you can ask me questions if I can be in the discussion, which I will try to be. I do have 4 groups a week, so it is quite lengthy. I may stay for part of the time. I may stay for the whole time. And sometimes I may not be able to show up. You will always record your session. You will always send that to me in the Dropbox for the virtual discussions. Again, I am here for you. If you need me, don't hesitate to reach out. My office hours will be Tuesday mornings at 11. If that's not convenient for you, then I will make time that was convenient to you so you can have what you need explained, clarified. No question is a dumb question. I know we say it to our kids all the time, but I'm serious. You can email. If I think I need to go into a more lengthy or a discussion that I can't do through emails, then I will ask to meet with you through Zoom, most likely, because I like using Zoom, but we're welcome to use WebEx too. I've said enough. I'm excited about working with you. I hope you have made it through the end of this video. Again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. I will see you in the next video, which will be the week 1 video. Again, I wish you much luck and success this term, and I'm here to support you and do anything I can for you. So it'll be great fun. I hope you love it as much as I do. And I will see you online and in your literacy circle.